I'm going to show you how I created a Magic School Bus art style commercial using AI tools right now. First, let's watch the commercial.
Wherever the universe takes you, the best adventures start with a single tap. One card, every world, every moment. Solera, the universe is your oyster.
I'm Charles. I'm a filmmaker, performer, and I've been diving into Gen AI a lot lately. And I made something, and I'm going to break down how I made it here. It all starts with the brief. First was this brief that came from Gen HQ. Shout out to the Gen HQ team. They have this Solera Bank 30-second commercial with this creative brief. It is to launch Solera Bank and Solera Visa as a seamless interstellar banking service. Prove that one card works instantly across every planet, moon, and space station. No borders, no delays, no limits. Drive signups among 22 to 40-year-old interplanetary professionals, nomads, and explorers. Key message: the universe is your oyster. With Solera Visa, you can live, shop, travel, and thrive anywhere in the galaxy instantly and effortlessly. Some of the mandatory visual styles include a strict 1960s, 70s retro pop art, sci-fi, comic book aesthetic, bold black outlines, flat, vibrant colors, hot pink dominant palette, cyan accents, clean vector lines. So their bank logo appears in the last 3 seconds. The tagline, universe is your oyster, must include the logo plus open your account in 60 seconds at Solera Bank. Fun, empowering, adventurous, slightly tongue-in-cheek, 1968 space age optimism meets 2026 cool. 30 seconds exactly. All right. So I took this brief. Now here's the thing. They already used this exact brief to make a commercial. So I wanted to use this brief as inspiration to come up with my own version, which you've already seen. I brought the brief into Claude and I asked it to help give me some ideas. So here's what it gave me. The first purchase, World Tour montage, Skeptic Local, Day in the Life. I really liked the World Tour montage the most. And so then I asked it to give me a few different character descriptions. And then I picked one. I liked number one the best. And then I needed some visual takes. Give me some specific character traits for this character. And I liked number one the best. I liked the sun-kissed wanderer the best. Warm brown skin, natural hair pulled into a loose bun with few escaped curls, amber-tinted aviator goggles pushed up on the forehead, a worn leather jacket over a bright floral shirt. Looks like she just stepped off a beach planet. It just sounded good to me. All right. And then asked me to lock in some things like her approximate age, late 20s, energy, cool and confident. Does she have a name? I liked the name Nova. So we went with that. All right. Then we continued on. I asked it to help give me a prompt that I could take into an image generator to create an image. And here was the first image that it created, which I really liked. And I took that back in to Claude. Claude became my creative assistant, basically. All right. But I didn't like that she had a gun. So I was like, we got to get rid of the gun there. And also I needed to use it as a character background. So then I ran it through and it gave me this. But we were having some hallucinations. We don't need a third arm there. But now we needed to go and establish the market for the opening shot. So I took here and I was like, well, let's go and identify some locations for the script. Because again, the script is like a world montage, right? World tour montage. So where does this thing start? It starts with the Lunar Night Market, Saturn Ring Ski Resort. All these were just different options. And I narrowed it down. We went the route of the Covered Star Market. So it originally started as a Covered Star Market, Deep Space Boutique, Martian Rooftop Bar, and then Saturn Rings Ski Resort at the end. And it evolved over time. Like as it kind of was starting to, it gave me a potential outline for the script, but I didn't quite like it. So I adjusted it quite a few times. There's quite a bit of back and forth here. And then I was finally able to find a ring for the story that I actually liked. So I would take that into Google and use that to come up with some sample imagery. I took this into Magnific. It was Freepik at the time, but now it's Magnific, and I asked it to create a character sheet with variations of the character and then break them down. So across different angles. So like close up, mid shot, high angle, low angle, side, back. And then I used those to help maintain character consistency. And then I took those into Runway, and I would prompt one scene at a time. I've got this character. I uploaded the character sheet, and that's why a lot of these the close-up shots are pretty much the same, because I was uploading this character sheet. And then I asked it to say, like, I would take the girl walking through the market, and it would create for me first this image. And it happened to create a story. I was using the story panels feature within Runway, which I thought was so cool, where basically I could upload a character and describe a scene, and it would create for me a story panel to illustrate that scene. I continued that each step of the way. So I had the scene, the shots here, the scenes here, and I would basically like pick the ones that I wanted. So establishing wide shot. I originally had starting with the wide shot, but I ended up cutting it for the final commercial. But so Nova, it was the establishing shot. Then Nova entered, and then she would walk until she found the poster. I basically cut all those. I put them into the opening sequence, and I just continued down. She sees the poster. She goes to the kiosk and buys the ticket, and then we would cut to scene 2 where she is in space on the ice sheet in front of Saturn, and she's snowboarding, and we're coming in here. And then cut to the next scene where so this was the cuts in this scene, as you can see. And then we would continue on to get to the lounge. But you can see, though, that it wasn't all right the first time. I didn't always like what it was giving me, so I had to push back until finally I got to the lounge. And then I would take the shots that I wanted, and I would take them in to the generator. And you can see here, it didn't give me the right draft of the card first, so I had to go back in later and have it fix that. And I would take little clips, like I liked this clip, I liked this, but it wasn't always right the first time. See, sometimes it would create her without her spacesuit, so I had to go back in and fix that. But sometimes, like this one, gave me a really cool close-up shot that I really liked, and it all these. I really liked all these shots. I ended up using all those. And this shot of her snowboarding straight on, I thought was great. And then again, same character sheet with the description of the scene. I wanted her landing in the bar and starting to get ready to pay for her next drink. And this one, it really gave me a bunch of different versions. None of them were quite right. So this took a lot of back and forth into Magnific again, where I found one of the images that I liked, but then I would have to go in and ask it to like adjust the camera angle or change the card and put that in there. And then I was able to finally get it to create some clips. The tool that I would use as my primary video generator, though, was this tool called Fal.ai. And I liked Fal.ai because it would allow me to, without having to use a different subscription, I was able to create a bunch of different video clips. So I would take the image that when I finally came to the storyboard that I liked, which I had set up in Milanote, I used Milanote to organize my story and get it out of the image generators so I could kind of look at it. And when I finally had the characters that I liked, I had the card logo, I had the story written out in a way that I could follow and made sense to me and I liked it, then I went into my video generator and I would use, so I would upload one photo at a time. I used a lot of different clips. Not all of them were great. Some of them had some good elements, but others didn't. It's like she's going very slow here. But this one I thought was great. So I would go back and forth with this thing until I finally got the clips that I wanted. And then I would bring them all together into DaVinci Resolve here. And so you could see how it finally came together. And when I finally got the visuals together, this was an interesting, I wanted this transition to be sudden. So this is when I went back into Google Gemini. And I had it create for me. I tried to find the image to get the right, like, spaceship flying, and I wanted it to be pink and blue, but it was taking me so much effort to get here. It just kept getting it wrong. But finally I got this one, and I was able to get that enough, use that to create the clip that I wanted to use as a transition clip. Right, there we go. I wanted the smoke to fill the frame and then to use that as the transition and take us to space. And then now you're hearing some sound effects. So the sound effects were not there. Some of them were, but they were not very good. So what I would do next is I would go into 11 Labs. I used 11 Labs for the voiceover and for the sound effects and the music. For the voiceover, I did text to speech, where I put in the text, and
Wherever the universe takes you, the best adventures start with a single tap. One card, every world, every moment. Solera. The universe is your oyster. Wherever.
So I would go, there were a couple different versions I tested. I finally found one that I liked. Then I also went in and had it create some music. I downloaded the music here. I tried prompting some original music, but I didn't find anything I really liked. So these tracks were already created. Somebody created them, and I just bought them with my credits on 11 Labs. And then I had sound effects created. The clink at the bar at the end, the woman shouting. I wanted to have her, while she was snowboarding, give like before she makes the jump, but it didn't quite work, so I just cut it out. And then I'm laughing and clapping at the end. All these sound effects, even the snowboarding, the sound of the jet, all those had to be created. And they were all created with the tools. And when that was finally done, I called it done. And that's basically how I made the video, made this commercial. It took about 4 days to get it all done, just because I wasn't able to work on it constantly each day. But it took about 4 days, so about 20 to 25 hours to get everything done. And I'm super happy with how it came out. And yeah. So thanks for watching. If this is helpful for you, feel free to give me a comment. Let me know something you learned from it. And if you want something like this for you and your brand or your business, or if you want to talk to me about this, see what I'm working on next, see if I have any ideas that could work for you, let me know. I'd be happy to talk. Thanks.